What's up, guys? We're live. Welcome back to another episode of My Wife's Asleep. I'm your host, Sean Boucher. This week we have Gabriel Perez with us, joining the podcast, first timer. Very funny dude. He's actually like the first comic I met when I came up to Maine. I did a Free Street, and he was there, and I went by myself. It was my brother and I, and we were visiting, but I went there by myself, and we got to talking, and it was very nice and comforting because going into a new comic scene, you feel like the new kid at school in the cafeteria. And like I was smoking and you, after we both went on, we just got to talking. And you actually hung out. You were going to go home.
Yeah.
But we were having drinks. You're like, you know what? I'm going to grab another drink. Fuck it.
Well, yeah, I feel like comedy is so much of it can become so much of an ego game that it's like, and you never know when the person coming in is a new guy or is new to that room or like, but actually good.
Yeah.
Not actually. New people are good too.
But no, the level they're at,
Yeah.
and like where they're from. And it's always, that's what I like I say all the time about being up here. The rooms, not that Florida rooms suck, but like everybody's so inviting and welcoming. It's not that cliquey. Obviously, there's going to be some cliques, but everybody's like, yo, I liked your fart joke, or I liked your turtle joke.
Yeah. Well, it's like, why be crabs in a bucket?
It's a good way to put it.
Well, we can all be mice in a hole.
We can all be meerkats and dig through this shit together.
Yeah.
So,
Lemmings all jumping off the same cliff.
So you're new to the podcast. I always ask, like, so how did you get started? How many years in are you?
Word.
Just to loosen up, we always introduce everybody and where everybody's at on their journey.
I've been doing it for close to 2 years. I started on my birthday 2 years ago. That's obvious. But I grew up doing improv all through high school.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, 4 years, and I was on like the only professional team in Chicago at the time, professional teenage team. There were many other professional teams.
Yeah, you weren't like in Second City and like.
Yeah, no.
You're like, I got this shit.
No, I did maybe like 3 real shows, but it's like, okay, it was that level of it, and it was awesome. Loved it. Went into acting school by mistake, and I should not have done that because that kind of led me away from comedy for a while.
I can see that.
Everyone around me, it was all Shakespeare and Tennessee Williams, and there's moments.
So serious.
There's
like,
comedy. Shakespeare has comedies, but they didn't care about those in the school. So it's like it left my life for about 10 years, and then I tried to do other things. I ran a business. I ran Maine's first destroy room.
Nice.
Yeah, that failed. And then
That's so fun concept.
It was awesome. It was sick.
Now that's the type where you go in and you get like the suit and the glasses and you get to like smash it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I wore a red jumpsuit every day. There's a few pictures of that online still.
Nice.
My hands got friggin' cut up.
Oh, I bet.
Because windows. I was getting free windows from Renewal by Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go by in my truck and just pick up all the things that they took out. It was beautiful.
I can see why that failed in Maine, though. People just take it out on their wives. Like, I'm not going to go pay and break somebody else's shit.
No. I actually got to the point where I was making money with it.
Okay.
But I was above Maine College of Art, where they did the nude sketching.
Ah.
Yeah. So them, like, trying to learn to draw the human form did not appreciate sledgehammers and death metal and...
broken glass.
Yeah.
God, I wish to be a fly on the wall in that first room.
So yeah, I had to switch locations. That was during COVID. So all of that, it was like, do I restart? And instead, I restarted comedy basically.
That's awesome. It's good to have you back. It's always nice whenever I walk up to a room and like now I know all the room schedules, but at first, like, oh, a familiar face, like I do know somebody.
Yeah.
That's like Sunday when I walked up, he was wearing a black shirt and I was wearing a black shirt and I was like, one of us gonna have to fucking change. What the fuck?
It's the comedian classic.
It is. That's how I do it though. Like I went, because in like the first year, it's nerve wracking. What am I gonna wear? Am I gonna wear my leopard cheetah shirt? Am I gonna wear a Hawaiian? Do I want to be that guy? And I wore like a gray V-neck and jeans, and I was like, all right, this is comfortable.
Yeah.
So I went to Walmart and just bought like 4 gray shirts, 4 black shirts, and like, all right, just like Steve Jobs, that's my uniform. Like it's one less thing to think about.
I like looking at my outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always do look fly as hell though.
I enjoy dressing up. I can't wait to get back to Chicago where I've got a full wardrobe.
Yeah.
And I named some of them, like
You name them?
oh yeah, it's like the dad classic. That's like just tan pants and basically a button up, open, rolled it t-shirt. Yeah.
Nice.
I hit the mic. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. It's fucking cheap, Mike. We're good. Now, what is your... This is just the meat and potatoes. This is the intro. Now, what is your process for writing a joke? Do you let it come to you? Do you look at, okay, grass, and I'm going to write a joke about grass? Or...
If I do that, then 9 times out of 10, I hate myself at the end of the day. There are times when I'm just like thinking about a thing that, sure, some angles pop up, but rarely can I actually make a joke happen. It's so much based on my stuff is so much based on my own life.
That's where comedy comes from.
Yeah.
Talk about what you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell stories, but like the humor a lot of times comes from making fun of the specific phrasing that I'm using, so that the jokes come like from there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot from the writing and just free writing or just thinking about shit.
You gotta let it. Like I went to Walmart today and there's the self checkout. So there's no cashiers, but there's self checkout. But there's only 3 fucking lanes open. And I'm like, how is 7 other lanes closed when it's self checkout? Like what's going on here? And I'm like, all right, can I work that into something?
Right.
But sometimes I've noticed, like at the beginning when I would sit down, what were you gonna say?
Well, just that I feel like it's like keeping the eye open for the spark of inspiration in everyday life and trying to live as full a life as possible, where it's like go out, do things, experience shit,
Entertain yourself. That's how you're gonna.
Yeah. Because if it's something that I find entertaining, and then I can go home and like workshop the spark.
That's the best feeling when you have like a concept comes to you and then you like have like a tag for it and you're like, oh fuck, I gotta go home, because I do pen to paper.
Right.
I don't do the voice memos. It works for me with pen to paper. I have a problem. I buy a notebook every fucking day, it seems like, but they're for different things. But it's got to be pen to paper. But it's like, oh shit, I have that tag about, like I tried on Sunday to check twice for motorcyclists. I was like, oh, I'm driving drunk. And then I was like, oh, it's funny how alcohol affects different people. And I wrote that all out the night before and I was like, I'm going to try that tomorrow, and it fucking worked.
That's the best feeling.
Best feeling ever.
Yeah, when it's like, it's new and it worked. And oh, what more can I get from this now that I've got my foundation for my little joke house?
This 30 seconds, how can I evolve that into 2.5 minutes?
Right.
It's that's where the level that I'm trying to get at, where like we're doing these mics and we're both hitting them religiously. Like every time I'm at a room, for the most part, you're at a room. And I was showing like my aunt like a Bernie Mac joke, like milk and cookies. I was like, I'm trying to get to the point where I can go into an open mic and do the 5 minutes as one fucking con. It's gonna take a minute, but that's the goal, isn't it? To obviously level up and level up and level up. Like we do it because we love it.
Level up, baby. Yeah.
But I just want to say on Sunday it was hilarious because I broke a rule. Don't drink on stage. It's one of my rules. But there was like you, me, and like 2 other comics and my aunt and uncle. I was like, I'm gonna have a couple drinks to get loose. And then like 12 people walked in and I was like, oh shit, I'm kind of too loose. But your joke about the fried chicken and pinching your nipples.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, oh, that got dark last time I told it. And I was clapping and I was like, yeah, it did. I was fucking there. I love that joke.
Well, it's yeah, it did go a little far, but it's from a true, life experience where I was the only white kid in an all black Chicago female deli.
Dude, I got you on Snapchat right before because I was like, Gabe's up here fucking not backing down. And it was right before you were like, oh shit, I just made eye contact with a black person. And I was like, fuck, why didn't I get that clip? I would have saved that for him. But you got to double down, dude. Funny's funny. You got to double down.
Yeah. Until, you go too far and then you kind of go like, whoops, okay, dial back. But that's what the mics are about exploring, is finding where that line is. And sometimes the closer you get, then the funnier it is. As long as you can
if you can bring
bop, 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 over, back, we're all having fun.
If you can bring them along with you.
Yeah.
Like you were making that joke and then you're like, oh, I just locked eyes with a black person. Because right before that, you're like, oh, there's nobody here. And then she was laughing and she was on your side.
Right.
So there's a difference between performing it with a pure of heart and being just an asshole on stage.
Yes. I think that is so huge about any joke that includes a person who is not of a culture of your own, is would that person find it funny?
Yes.
Like if I'm going to talk about gay people, they better find it funny themselves more than the rest of everyone else. Not like, haha, we're laughing along because we don't want to ruin a good time, but like, no, you get us, we understand your perspective, and that's where the comedy is coming from, is that like fish out of water, difference of perspectives, not I make fun of not bullying.
Yes.
Bullying is bad, folks.
I don't know. I mean, there's this one guy I work with, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, you're the like, if they didn't stop bullying, you would have been all right. Like, if you got smacked around. But no, whatever. It's hindsight. But well, yeah, it's kind of like playing to the front of the room as opposed to playing to the back of the room. So you could go up there, you saying gay people, homosexuality. You could go up there and be like, oh, these fucking gays, and blah, blah, blah. And the other comics are laughing because they know you're being an asshole, and you lose the audience. Fuck the other comics in the back. You're going to see them on Tuesday night at fucking Mr. Cacciatore's Pizza when it's just you comics. Do that then. But when you have a crowd, if you have, the way I look at it, if you have 3 people in the audience that aren't comics, that's a fucking crowd.
Yeah.
And that's when you punch into the office and you give them your fucking, don't work out your shit, throw a new one here and there, but you go and you give them a fucking show. Free or not.
For sure.
Very opinionated on comedy, Gabe.
Oh, believe me, the amount of dates I've ruined recently by being like, no, but comedy theory, wait, let me talk more.
It's hard, dude. It's, for lack of a better word, like between being a comic and like a normal civilian, like, because it's all it's all our brain is thinking about constantly. Like,
right.
How can I turn I was at work the other day. I work in a restaurant.
Where's the funny? Where's the funny?
And I had this one kid was fucking sucking down sodas. I brought the kid 6 sodas. But the 6th one, I was like, I'm not going to refill this kid anymore. Like, I'm fucking hungover. I got the runs. He's making me walk half a mile for another Dr. Pepper. Fuck this. I'm like, okay, when I go on a restaurant rant, throw that in. This kid doesn't need a 5th Dr. Pepper. I got the runs. I ain't making it. Yeah.
Right. And then as you go, you can be like, oh, hyperbole. It doesn't need to be 5, 6. It can be 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Or a funny number like 14.
Yeah. You always got to go big. Yeah. You always got to go bigger.
I've noticed so many comedians, though, use like specific numbers because they're funny. 14 comes up a ton.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try it tonight at Blue.
I'm not saying like specifically 69, but
but
like with, I don't know. I've just noticed little tendencies like that where that is just a funny.
Where it just works.
Yeah.
Huh. So
something to think about.
No, it registers. Like you said, some people use it. It just registers, and if it works in a crowd,
words all have meaning inherent to them. Mm-hmm. Underneath all the like that psychological connection to them.
Yeah.
Like kerplunk, you know, we're talking about just plosives and shit, but it all has that. It hits. The choice of words.
It has a good ring to it.
Yeah. Recently, what I've liked more and more to go back to the writing process.
Yeah.
Is like
we are a very loose podcast. If we can talk about whatever you want, we can go back to whatever you
No,
want.
we need like a PowerPoint presentation after this, and it needs to all be in MLA format. I got like a D on my senior thesis.
I dropped out sophomore year, so I don't know what a thesis is. No,
oh.
I'm kidding. But no, when you think about writing, go back.
Yeah, what was I talking about before I talked about other things? That, like, talking it out until it's good enough to then, like, hone and pick. I almost said a racial slur about my own people. That would be okay then.
Yeah. My Wife's Asleep podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Gabriel Perez.
I'm both Hispanic and white, so it's okay and not.
Mm-hmm.
This is a thing that is now a problem in my life. Sean knows. But that then picking specific words
Yes.
to then make it so like as succinct as possible, as punched up as possible, and when it's like this. One phrasing gets a 5 laugh. This other phrasing gets a 6 laugh. I like when it starts to get so minute like that, because at that point you also know it so well, you know, that you're like, you get to play around with the cadence and the rhythm and all of it. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. The smoke isn't bothering you, right? Because when I sat down, the wind was going this way. Now it's going that way.
Dude, I love it. It feels like childhood.
Okay, sweet. Welcome. I'm glad I have a welcoming front yard. But it's cool that you
You
say
have an awesome front yard. First, thank you, Sean, for this, because this is an awesome front yard.
my grandfather worked hard for this dog.
I love those. I love those fish. There's ceramic fish over.
Yeah, well, I'll pan over after. But yeah, he worked
See.
hard on that too. Those used to be like 50-foot high pine trees.
Oh,
That they cut down.
I thought they were giant fish that you were going to say.
Those were actually tuna at one point. But so my buddy Gleb, he's gonna come visit in November. Love that crazy bastard. He was in New York with me. But like I would post jokes, or like even when we were hitting the mics every night, he would be like, you keep doing the same jokes. Keep doing the same jokes. I'm like, you realize I'm working them out. Like you said, changing a cadence, changing this word. Because you want to get a joke to the point, which a joke is never finished, but you want to get a joke to the point where you're tired of saying it.
Yeah.
So by going up there, like, okay, instead of saying, I'm going back and getting this kid 28 Dr. Peppers, I'm going back and getting this kid 17. Okay, 17 worked. Just exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And people, I feel like some people, especially when they start out, they're just trying to produce a new 5 every time they go up. And it's like, no. Come up with 1 or 2 and then go up and try your shit out.
That's the fun of it. Is I think is the essence.
Mhm.
Is it feels good to get it out, to write and get the next thing out and get the next thing out, and not think about the work that comes to making it from good to great, or from great to excellent, or from excellent to like actual friggin' level.
Yeah. But that goes back to
That
the
we're all going for.
quality over quantity.
Yes.
So like I have my quantity of jokes. I have my little black book, but then I also have my quality 8 that I can do in a pinch.
I think a lot of people could get people to chuckle for a long time, but to get them to laugh or cry laughing or the applause break, those
I gotta stop when I get a fucking deep belly laugh. I'm trying to pump the brake. You know when you get excited when you try a new one.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh fuck yeah, okay. And it's like, no, let them laugh and breathe, catch your breath, and think before you execute. Sorry to cut you off.
no, but enjoy the moment of it.
Yeah.
And your brain's constantly going, what's the next? But
Silence is the enemy when it's not.
full silence is, but one person laughing their ass off, everyone. I laugh hardest at other people laughing at mics.
It's contagious, yeah.
Because when it's like, why did that one person love that one joke so much? It's amazing that they love it so much that now I'm laughing at them laughing at it. But it's like there was a connection there, and that is contagious, like you said.
That's like I film my sets just no, you're fine, dude. This is an Italian household. You're gonna get smacked around before you leave. But
yes, please.
I film my sets and then I watch back, and if I have one and I get a laugh like that, I'll catch myself laughing. And it's like that's like the best fucking. That's the reward right there. I think this is funny. You think this is funny. We can laugh at this together.
Yeah.
Comedy in a nutshell, right there. Podcast over.
We solved it.
Did you see that hurricane
From the
in
dawn of
Florida?
time. I did not. Is my dad okay?
Where's he
Do you
live?
know?
Where's he live?
New Smyrna Beach.
I think they're getting hit either today or tomorrow. I think it weakened. But where I lived in Sarasota, it came around that bend. So Sarasota is like 45 minutes south of Tampa. And I used to live like a mile and a half off Siesta Key. #1 beach in the Continental, second to Maui. I always have to remind people Continental when they say #1. And I'm like, I don't know, Continental. Forgot about Maui. But yeah, it's like flooded. They got like, I think my father said like 16 inches of rain. So like all the streets are flooded. People are off work.
Yeah.
People are seeing like giant catfish and like there's a shark fin because it's a lot of water connecting from like the oceans and the rivers to it. And not to go off topic of comedy, but this was funny. My buddy was in the group chat. He's on like that Neighbors app.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I lost my cat Freckles, or like the new neighbors stole my catalytic converter. But these people
I saw people acting weird on the street.
yeah, they're playing basketball like they're kids. But my buddy was on the Neighbors app, and he's like, these people who just moved to Florida within like the last 2 years, all the streets are flooded, and they're like, how is this possible? Like, who do we talk to about this? Like, the street shouldn't be flooded. And he's like, you want to talk to the manager of the fucking hurricane? Like,
Right.
if you go to a play and they're running late, like, you want to talk to Father Time? Like, what the fuck's going on?
Poseidon, Lord of the Seas.
Well, he
We
didn't
appeal to
sacrifice your
thee.
firstborn. So there you go. You get flooded streets by UTC Mall, bitch. But it's
Aquaman,
wild. I'll show you
call
some
the
videos
sharks
after.
back. That's wild.
I know. It's crazy. Like, dodge that bullet.
Where my dad lives, they've survived. That building has lasted a lot of hurricanes.
I've been to New Smyrna. When I was in punk bands, we were in Orlando. Yeah, dude, my life's fucking wild.
Buried the lead there.
Filthy De Niro's, bro. We traveled up and down. But we would travel to Daytona, New Smyrna, because we were in Orlando, and it's like the closest beach. It was like an hour, maybe. Don't quote me on that. I was in a punk band, so I don't remember a lot. But yeah, we'd go there. It was beautiful. That's the one you can drive your cars on the beach, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful beach. Shout out New Smyrna Beach.
Yeah. It's fun to see the models getting pictures taken.
Yeah. Dude, we dug a huge, so my buddy Gleb, his brother Alex, he's going to be like an engineer, but he's very like active. He does hiking and shit. So whenever we go to the beach, they would dig giant holes, like 5 feet down, like they were in the movie Holes. So the lifeguard comes up and he's like, you can't do that. And we're like, well, it's done.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you got to fill it before you leave. You can't, cars drive on this beach. You can't just leave a 5 by 5 foot hole. We're like, obviously we're going to fill it back in. That's part of the fun.
That's actually a good point, though.
I'm just drinking like White Claws. Like, I'm not digging shit. I came to the beach.
I just lay a tarp over it.
Yeah, we're trying to. There's a cartoon rabbit running around. We're trying to. You didn't see it? It was on Bay News 9. I'm sorry.
During my dad's wedding, which was on the beach,
Mhm.
some Florida punk kids, not like the same punk, but just like, yeah.
Beach rats, yeah.
beach
Sand, sand
rats.
fleas is what we call ours.
They drove by and shot everyone with airsoft rifles while pictures were being taken.
That's why. That's Florida.
It may have been during like the actual ceremony. Either way,
That's fucking wild, dude. Those little rascals.
I thought it was funny. There were people in the procession who were mad.
Oh, I bet. We flew here from fucking wherever. This is a beautiful day, and these little bastards.
Yeah, you want to like, oh, I'm gonna go fight them.
Oh, I bet.
They're in a car.
Dude, when I was in Orlando, like 22, and I delivered pizzas for Papa John's. And I drove this piece of shit Lincoln. It was a 1993 Lincoln Executive Series. No air conditioning. The windows didn't work. And I'm delivering pizzas in Florida. It was hot as fuck. And my buddy was out of town. And I had to deliver to like a ghetto like apartment complex. And I dropped the pizza off. And I heard, give me the pizza, motherfucker. And I look back and it's these little like 7 to like 10-year-old little black kids. And they had Nerf guns. And they're shooting Nerf guns at me, and I was like, fucking, I'm like, oh, no, get out of here. At first, it was sketchy. Like, give me the pizza, motherfucker. And I looked and saw there were Nerf guns, and I was like, oh, I'll phone with these kids. This is dope.
That's awesome. That's sick.
I was like, you got like 2 more years until you can't play like this anymore, guys. So, Chicago, are you still bouncing back and forth, or kind of fly by night?
Next time I go back will be the last time for a bit.
Okay.
Like, I'm heading back until at least my apartment runs up. I've got an apartment out there that I've paid until May.
Okay. Oh, wow. So you still have like a year.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but then it's like, maybe I'll come back in the summertime and be that asshole that's, snowbirding, but comedy snowbirding.
Yeah, but it's cold as fucking Chicago, right?
Yeah, oh no, it wouldn't be actual snowbird. It'd be like one Arctic tundra to a different type of Arctic tundra.
Yeah, the Arctic jungle.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's good,
All
though,
that
because
concrete.
then you have... Don't look at that as a bad thing. That's awesome, because then you have 2 different types of audiences
Yeah,
to
and
deal with. Yeah.
keep relations in both places and
Yeah.
maybe be a connector between the two, as things start to grow, which I wanted to run this by you.
Okay.
Idea for a type of show. Have you heard of chess boxing? Well, it's when it's both chess and boxing. You do
You got me.
one
Okay.
round of boxing and then you play a round of chess.
Oh, as you're all like, fucked.
Yeah.
As you're seeing stars.
So same thing, but with comedy. You match up comedians of similar build.
Like, so me and Zach have talked
Fucking
about fighting. The
duke it
first
out.
podcast me and Zach did, he
Hell
was like,
yes.
we're same stature, we should fight.
Yeah. Yeah, you duke it out in a ring, but then after that minute, like you're spitting blood, but trying to tell jokes at the same time.
So then there we were at Market Basket.
Oh, fuck, you hit me so fucking hard.
I'm coming, Elizabeth. Where would we do that?
Oh, there's rings.
Who would sign? Hold on. Are we doing it? It's 2024. Are we doing it same gender? Or
well, I was thinking that must be up to the girls, but I would definitely want to include some women, of course.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this earlier. Like I was planning. Like, fucking. Well, what about the female comedians and non-binary? And it's like, well, you know, if they're up to fight anyone, then I'll punch a woman.
It's for the sake of comedy, dude. I will do it.
Equality.
I will do it. I didn't like your joke about men.
I've never been in a real fight, by the way, like ever in my life.
So we'll start you in the women's league.
Yeah.
I'll do it under one condition: when the female comics box, I get to be the ring girl, the ring guy.
Yes. Daisy Duke or Tube Top?
Both
at the same time.
I'll put my fucking cheetah shorts on and carry that flag. We'll just get a giant whiteboard for round one. That's awesome. That's a good idea. I mean, obviously, we'll have to have waivers and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
But that's what's beautiful about doing that. Like,
it might be a disaster at the same, but that's also what's beautiful.
But what's beautiful about doing comedy is like everything that we do for the most part is DIY. We're writing, we're directing, we're editing. So with ideas like that, you thought of that, which is fucking hilarious. I was driving to work the other day, and I was like, okay, how? Because everybody wants to have a special on all these streaming platforms, but we have YouTube. I was thinking, what if I did like Sean Boucher, the parlor special, where like, I'll give you the tour of my grandparents' house after, but like they have a giant, beautiful parlor. Get like 3 comics. Everybody comes in and does like 10 minutes, their 10 hardest minutes. We can fit probably 25 people in there. Make it like a house party, film it. I have the board and shit to do it. And I was like, if that's too cramped, if we feel that's too cramped, we have this giant yard. With this, we could use as a stage. Yeah. And hey guys, we're doing, it's like a barbecue style. Everybody bring a fucking lawn chair and we got the lights and we'll have ice and shit. Like when you think of these ideas and you can execute them, because people sit on shit like, oh, I've always wanted to be a tour guide on a boat. I just don't have the boat. Go out and find somebody who has a fucking boat. Be like, hey, I have this idea. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But with us as comics, we're like, oh, I have this idea. Let me see. If I can get 6 people interested in this, this might actually get some traction.
It can be enough.
And us stand-ups, we're all whores. We're like, just fucking do it. I'll do whatever.
Right. But no one wants to be the one to take the steps to do it. So
yeah.
I think that goes back to the not wanting to do your material again, like over and over, where we all chose this because we thought it would be nothing but fun at the start.
It still is.
The start is.
It's not fun at all at the start.
I mean, that's true. It took me a year until on stage I could have fun, but there was that little promise of like, you know, this is the thing that you can do yourself. Nope. The thing that is only, you know, coming up with your words and that. And, well, no, you got to work on it and you got to promote yourself and you got to make shows and you got to make friends and get those whores to sign on to your shows. And are they actually going to promote?
Yeah.
Remind them to promote.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure there are people who love that side of it, and I hope one day to grow to be one of them. But there is that whole comedy business side of it. So of course no one wants to do that side. I don't want to do that side. I don't do that side well at all.
Dude, I'm like the Forrest Gump of scumbags. I just fall into shit. It always works out, knock on wood. But when you start out too, there's almost like a vulnerability of it where it's like, it's just you up there. But like you said, it takes about a year before you start to, I mean, for us at least it took a year. Everybody's journey is different. It takes about a year before you can actually, I can engage with the crowd and I can have fun. I can mix this up and be like, oh, I fucked that up, instead of being like, oh, I'm so sorry, I messed that up. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So in your head about the script and knowing what you're supposed to say so that when you flub a word,
yep,
you go, oh no, I need to apologize to these people for ruining the performance, when they're all going, oh, well, what did you want to say?
Yeah, we didn't even notice that you said loudiest, not loudest. Like,
right.
You gotta keep.
We got you. We understood.
Yeah, we're here.
We're close.
Good job. Keep going.
You're human.
Dude, I did that. Going back to all these conversations just trigger my memories, guys, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm talking over the guests. I feel like we've had a good banter back and forth. Because my brother was saying something, fuck you, Patrick. He's like, why would I listen to the podcast? Just listen to you talk about yourself. I'm like, well, no, it's because we're sharing stories and conversations.
I feel steamrolled.
I'm not gaslighting you.
I'm never coming back.
This is fun. You come back.
No,
Everybody loves this setup.
No, this is awesome. And that is what it is. I was talking with someone about that like sharing stories is a way of connecting. It's not necessarily taking the thing onto me. It's like, I see a tangential connection with this.
Something similar happened to me.
Right. I want to let you know, we're friends. That's what friendship and relationships are.
He said it live. I have a comic friend. I have two. I have Zach and I have Gabe.
He paid me.
I didn't pay you. So give me the White Claw back.
Yeah.
You're cut off. But no, going back to relating about making sure the audience knows you're on their side, I saw the movie Black Klansman, and I wrote a joke about it, and I was going to an open mic the following night, and that was back when I was writing every word out and going up. Like, I would practice for like an hour and a half and have it all ready. Now I just have the inception of it, and I'll go up and I'll try it, and then I can have stuff that I've already tried. Anyways. And we're in Sarasota, Florida at the comedy club. And the light's there, but you can see the first two tables. And the table on the left is an elderly black couple. And I was like, fuck, I don't know if I want to perform this joke. But I was like, you know what? It's on the roster. And so I did it, and they laughed. So I ran it by my brother earlier in the day, and I was like, do you know whose side I'm on? And he was like, yeah, it's kind of risky, but we know you're on the right side telling this joke.
Hell yeah.
They laughed.
Tongue-in-cheek, and if they laughed, and then you try it out on more black audiences.
I was nervous. I was like, it's a great movie, though. Before I got into the joke, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
Well, then also playing with it, because it's going to be awkward for everyone no matter what. It sucks, but the rest of the audience, the second that you mention a race, if there's one person of that race in the room, everyone's going to look at them and be like, are you going to talk about it?
Can we laugh about that? Yeah.
Right. Do we have the permission? It's so much about giving people the permission when it comes to risky stuff and keeping them on your side.
But comedy transcends race, dude.
Yeah.
Like Buzz, when he was on, we had that conversation. Like, funny always wins.
Right.
Funny is funny.
Yeah.
What's on your mind? What was up with your day? Besides comedy boxing.
Besides comedy boxing, I killed a fly earlier. That was part of the reason I was late getting here, because there was a fly going around my house, and I was chasing it with an electric swatter. And I got it.
I got 2 fly swatters today.
It's that time, you know? If you don't take care of the first one, there's gonna be more.
Dude, my grandfather's walking around the house last night with like a rolled up like mailer information thing. Like, you know, the slips, like, come to Funtown Splash Town. And he's trying to get him. He's like, can you give me a fly swatter tomorrow? I was like, I got you, bro. Like,
yeah.
He's at that age where the flies mess with him. It's like, make sure the air's on, because if the air's not on, you'll meet him after. He's hilarious. Make sure the air's on, because if the air's not on, the bugs come through the vents. But he's also at the age where, like, we have these neighbor kids, and there's like a football, 2 basketballs, like the ball's in my yard, it's mine. I'm like, you haven't been active since 1976. Why are we keeping these kids' balls? I'm gonna get drunk and just throw them back out, like, go home.
Yeah, the stuff that old people keep is insane.
Yep.
I've been going through my house because there's no more mom. And I found under the bathroom sink a plaster mold of her teeth, so I just have like a complete perfect mold of her jaw.
That's interesting.
It's horrifying, is what it is.
No, but why did you have
that? Because
did you have dentures or
like a retainer or something?
Okay.
It was, old people's mouths are gross. I don't want to have an old person mouth one day. I know it's going to happen.
I was thinking about that the other day. When we get old, are we still going to be blasting like Post Malone and all that? You're like, oh, you guys don't know back in the day.
This new completely digital music.
Yeah. I was there for the birth of techno, motherfuckers.
Ever since they started speaking emojis as a language.
Find any other weird shit?
Oh, have you seen like AI music bots? bad.
We should have stopped it there, dude. I was trying to make that joke last week. I think you left, but I was like, AI, it's going to become like religion. Like once you can find where you need to go on your phone and get McDonald's delivered without leaving your house, that's where we should have stopped.
Yeah.
We don't need any of this other shit to the general public.
Unless they actually like make it so that it helps people instead of being an increasing amount of mind virus to make you flaccid as a person.
They already are. Think about Instagram. Think about fucking Spotify. Like you can't even. Do you use the radio?
No, not anymore.
You go on you're driving, and I mean we have self-driving cars now. Fuck, if I had a Tesla, I'd be the king of the road. You don't even have to drive. All right, I'm gonna play the Bee Gees. Okay, I don't even have to worry about the road. They're already winning. It's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Terminator, dude.
Yeah, it's such a magical time on one hand, but at the same time, it is that Orwellian Brave New World
1984, yeah.
Shutting your brain off and how comfortable it is to shut your brain off. I waste so much time on YouTube every day watching somebody talk about something that I don't even care about, or someone playing a video game. It's like, I understand the feel-good dopamine that gives, the constant serotonin release. So it's like, the fuck am I doing?
But it all goes back to escapism. Because I can't even fold laundry without putting a podcast or music on.
Okay, but laundry fucking sucks.
I know, but still, I can sit there. Oh, think about laundry,
Yeah.
I could be actually being productive instead of laying on the air mattress scrolling through Instagram. Like,
yeah, but that's life too. It's good to shut off a little bit.
Well, where they started to get us. And this is where AI is genius. I think we're in not a simulation, but AI, not aliens or God. It was like a computer that started it all. And we're not a simulation. It's not like the Matrix, but they're like, right, in order for me to take over, this is going to get very deep on the podcast, guys. In order for me to take over, the human race needs to become so content with turning their brains off. So I'm going to start with marijuana and alcohol. Because as long as you can go back, there was beer and there was wine with the Romans. Jesus turned water into wine. I hope they did auto gratuities back then at the Last Supper because there was, like 15 people there? Fuck that. So, but yeah, so it's like, all right, we have to get them comfortable with numbing their minds, turning their brains off. Okay, so there's all these chemical dependencies. Now we're going to introduce, it goes back to Steve Jobs as the devil. Dude, if we were on mushrooms, this would be such a deep fucking conversation.
Bro, I picked up yesterday. You should have let me know.
Yeah, but and then it's like, okay, so they already have that installed into them. Now we have to take them to the next level, technology, where we have to subliminally take them over. But I don't know shit from Shiola. I tell fucking jokes on stage 5 minutes at a time. What do I know?
Yeah, I mean, what do any of us know? It's not like it's very obvious and apparent before us, and we haven't seen people getting more and more coming up with crazier and crazier ideas. Even though most of us, I think, are actually pretty rational, but it just makes it so easy to fall into a snowball of thought and opinions and what's real, what's not. And AI generated pictures of Jesus' face made out of amalgamations of bodies. That makes your brain go, why, how, if this is your God, how can you make such a godless thing?
Right? We went deep on My Wife's Asleep, bro.
Yeah.
You excited about Blue tonight? You gonna come to karaoke? Can I kidnap you for the night?
Sure, fuck it. I've already started having a drink, so I will yoke it up. I haven't spit a bar in a minute.
Fuck yeah. I love that. I love like meeting new friends. I'm like, oh yeah, you're gonna come to a night of my life. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, let's do it. It's happening.
That's where I'm like a Jack Russell Terrier. I'm like, all right, what are we doing? What are we doing? You want to have fun? We're gonna do comedy. We're gonna go karaoke. I'll show you this new trick. Oh my god, this is the other dogs at the dog park. Like that's how I feel sometimes. I can tear my brain off with the alcohol when I get home, but when it's on, it's on.
Yeah, I'm a cat man. No, I wish I wasn't, but it's like that. Yeah, you gotta let me warm up to you, and then what's up? I'll rub my spit on you.
Anything else you want to talk about? You want to plug any dates? You doing any showcases or anything?
The 15th, I've got a show ran by the amazing Cindy Anna Jones, the Gals and Pals show on the 15th.
Where's that at?
It's a Thursday. It's at, I haven't looked at the poster in a minute, and I'm bad at planning my life, so.
What time?
8? Damn. 7:30? It's one of those time slots.
You don't know
I wish I knew. This is a great, I'm good at marketing myself.
We'll find it and I'll add it to the YouTube thumbnail.
You're beautiful.
I know, fuck, because I'm doing New England's Funniest on the 15th.
Yeah, that's another reason why I didn't sign up for that, is because I had this, so I figured,
I like contests. I like to see who I'm up against in town. I'm back there like the Joker, like, wait till they get a load of me, and then I bomb and don't progress.
Right.
I'm going back to the open mics. Fuck you guys.
Every one of my worst performances has been when I'm in the back going like, I'm gonna be the best, and I'm so ready, and I've been doing good recently, so I know this shit's fire.
Yeah.
And then just flat. Fuck your ego.
You gotta let your ego fucking die and just go for it. Like I tell everybody, we're all here at Applebee's on a Tuesday telling jokes into the same microphone. Like,
yeah, but that's what's beautiful about comedy, is it keeps you in check, but also gives you such highs.
Yeah. We're gonna crush it tonight at Blue, bro.
Yeah, Blue's gonna rock.
This is Gabriel Perez. Would you come back?
I would come back anytime.
Fuck yeah. I think we're gonna start doing it Tuesdays because I'm off on Tuesdays. So Tuesdays before Blue, I'll have people come on. And then I have the actual board and shit, and we can move inside. I just gotta figure it out. This has been My Wife's Asleep. Our guest was Gabriel Perez. Check him out with Cindy Anna Jones Show. I will put that information in the thumbnail. You can catch me at New England's Funniest at Aurora downtown, August 15th. Show starts at 8, doors at 7. You can catch me at Archie's Strike and Spare up in Something Falls. I'll have a flyer for that soon as well. And then Portland, Maine Comedy Festival, September 4th, 5th, and 7th. I'm hosting shows. I'll put that all on my Facebook and YouTube as well. It's been My Wife's Asleep, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye.